was this. It's a sorghum, a wild sorghum.
How long did it take from the nut grass to...
2 years. 2 years now I've got this. I didn't plant this either. Nature gave it to me. My neighbours go, the bloody hell have you got those noxious weeds growing for? So they're doing a job. But they can't see that because it's interfering with their... I've got to get 3 crops off this year because I've got the bank manager on my back. But we created it so that we weren't in that space. Okay? That's what you create. So it's doing a job. I allow it. I mulch it back in. I don't pile it up again. I leave it. I let it come away again. When it's done, it will leave. And I know that. And then that soil will be biologically ready for a cash crop. And I haven't done hardly any work at all. Okay? Again, this is another one. These are what they call grader grass. Grader grass grows on areas where the soil is depleted. And again, it's doing the same thing. It's building the soil. This is a native legume. It's similar to villa mix. Again, these are all that have come in. I haven't planted any of these. But what I did do is I created the right environment to start with. Okay?
So would you say that's the natural succession of grass, creating conditions, one grass
Absolutely.
creating conditions for the next one,
That's
and
it.
eventually the seedlings, the birds will come in. If you let it grow, it will become a forest. And
Yep.
it might take 10 years, 20, 100 years.
But we're actually, what we're doing is we've got actually lines that we've created in these where we plant the trees. So again, we're trying to speed that process up. We want it to happen not in 10 years, but we want it to happen in the next 2 years. Okay? So again, you know, this is the 3-row, we've got 5 rows and we've got 7 rows between the trees. These are trials to see the effect, how much more beneficial is it to have them at 3 rows. How much shading do we get? Annual crops like full sun. Okay? But I've also learned that a lot of annual crops will tolerate shade when the soil is right. When the soil is not right, they struggle. They're trying to do everything on the edge. Okay? So, by creating the right soil and having that shade, we're getting ready. We actually, the best pumpkins we've ever grown is under heavy eucalypt shade. And we didn't plant them, the pigs did. And no disease, no powdery mildew, no downy mildew. Beautiful, full pumpkins. The only problem was, the cattle got to the pumpkins before we did. But anyway, it fed the system. So last of all, a bit of my passion is ancient grains. Okay, so we're looking at, so this is kumut. Okay, this is what we call Egypt gold. This is the seed that was found in the pharaoh's tombs, 4,000 years old. This is an old American wheat. It's 400 years old. I've grown spelt before. I've got some einkorn. I've got a small handful of einkorn, which is the first wheat. It's only got 14 chromosomes. Is anyone here gluten intolerant?
Everyone probably.
Actually, everybody. You all are. It's just a matter of levels.
Yeah.
Okay? You can tolerate it. You can get by with it. But if you actually took it out of your diet, you realise that it's actually affecting you. The breads, the pastas, all that we eat now, the modern wheats, are actually not recognised by our body. They've got 68 to 70 chromosomes. It's loaded with all sorts of things. The gluten in it is no longer a protein that we recognise. So one of my missions is to save these seeds. We've got naked barleys, we've got different wheats, different oats that are the old stock. So that's my passion. And you notice, look how tall they grow. Okay? Traditionally, wheats and barleys and everything grew up this high. And what's the benefit of that in the system? Huge amount of biomass. We take the grain off, we leave all that biomass back in the soil. We can then go and directly plant straight in summer crop. All modern wheats are this high. Why?
Because more goes into the seed, I want more grain, so no?
Just so the machines can
No. No nitrogen fertilizer are used on this. Okay, nitrogen fertilizer produces protein, which produces seed. Okay? If I was to hit that with nitrogen, it would all fall over. Because nitrogen displaces silica. Silica is what gives you the strength in the stem. Okay, so they were hitting modern weeds with lots of nitrogen fertilizer to try and get as much production as possible. When they had that tool, they all fell over, they lodged, they couldn't pick them up. So they crossed it with a Japanese rice, short straw variety, to make it short. So they can hit it with a lot of fertilizer and it doesn't fall over. Okay?
So they can sell their chemicals?
Yeah. Oh, they can sell more chemicals, they can sell we won't do that.
That's a big story.
Yeah. For me, is the energy when you walk through these fields is dynamic. There's real life force energy in them. You can really feel the heritage of these seeds. These belong to our forefathers. You know? Not only do they create that, but they have a completely different root system to the modern weeds. They produce a huge root system. As above is so below. So we're looking at trying to produce a massive amount of organic matter, harvesting as much photosynthesis as we possibly can. So if we have this system here, and we're growing our annuals in here, we're still harvesting a lot of photosynthetic energy. If we're growing it here, so this is an acre, this is 6 acres of energy. Okay? Any questions?
I've got a really dynamic field of brachy and guinea. What's the best way of kind of
dealing with it? What do you want to do?
Syntropic farming or just incorporate? I'm not sure. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Is there any more after that? Is that it? There's a picture missing off there. I must have missed it. But a way that my neighbour, he's got a real problem with brachy. He grows spuds. He's a 4th generation spud grower. And brachy is their biggest nightmare because what happens is, especially the summer crop, is before they get to harvest and it's all dying off, the brachy just takes off. You can't actually see the potatoes at all. Okay? And what happens is they have to then go in and mulch all that, but then they've got all this organic matter sitting on the top. They've got this massive root system of brachy. Brachy is good grass. It's not a bad grass. It's just in the systems that we're doing, it's the bad grass. It produces a massive amount of root system, and it's a really good mycorrhizal breeding ground. Okay? So for them to get rid of that, they have to stop growing potatoes, and they have to grow cover crops to actually shield it out. You can go and herbicide the hell out of it. If you spray for weeds, you will always spray for weeds. Okay, you will never get away from it. I went to uni, studied how to kill everything. I farmed using chemicals. Very quickly realised it was a no-win situation. Okay, to get rid of the brachy is either you've got to use it as part of your system, as you saw in syntropic life in syntropy. They actually use the brachy to create a massive amount of biomass to create their windrows of mulch to grow their trees in. And then it's a case of harvesting that brachy the same as Jane's doing out here with a couch and blowing it back onto the beds.
So it sounds like you've got
Once you change the environment, okay, take it from pretty much an acid environment towards 6.4 up to 7 on your pH, more towards the alkaline, you'll find those grasses actually don't like growing there. The other way is you grow a heavy crop of sorghum and lablab in the summer. You let it grow right up, you let it lablab climb over the top, completely smothers it. Now our lablab, where we're about to mulch in when we put our next crop of garlic, is this high. You cannot walk through it. Okay, it's like an impenetrable jungle under there. Now we run a mulcher over that very slowly and chop that all up. We actually then turn that in, just into the top, because we want all that nutrient held there. We don't want it to be vaporized by the sun. Now you can do that for 2 or 3 years if you've got the time. You can break the brachy cycle, because brachy seed is only generally good for about 2 or 3 years in the soil. Unlike some of the other things like wild turnip and radish can last for 70 to 100 years in the soil.
But if you fight it,
you'll fight forever.
You lose against nature.
If you fight against anything, you create more fight. If you yield and observe and see what's going on and utilize that system to your benefit, you create win-win. And does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was